guys, it's Melanie. Welcome to my channel. Today I have my April book haul for you, so stay tuned. So these are all of the books that I acquired in April, minus any book outlet order I did because I do those in a separate video. But these are books that were either sent to me or books that I ordered on any other website, or books that came in subscription boxes, things like that. So I have 14 different books to show you. I think I have, actually let me move this one over here. I have, I believe, 7 middle grade and 7 YA to show you. That actually worked out really well. So I'm going to start with the middle grade, and if you're not interested in middle grade, you can just skip forward to the YA. So the first middle grade I have here is one that was sent to me from their publicist, and that is Dwarf Story by Professor W.W. Marplot. And this says, oh, this also comes out in June 2020. This is an ARC. This says, for Artie to miss a day of school, either he is very, very sick, or fairy tale character turf war has begun in his backyard. So begins this particular Wednesday. First, Artie finds a sweaty, bearded, axe-swinging warrior dwarf scaring his dogs. Soon enough, Emma, Cry, and the other middle school friends also find fairy tale creatures, elves, spriggans, pixies, and a hope for dragon crashing into their normal homework-doing, backpack-carrying, phone-charging school days. Why are these magical beings here? What should be done? Is that axe sharp? Can pixies be given aspirin? Artie with his friends and spying jerks and questionable strangers with long names follow the clues to try to find out, even as things turn dark and dangerous. The mythical beings take sides. The Gwillian, that legendary old woman of the mountains, has a sinister plan that will turn the neighborhood into a fantasy battleground. And I thought this sounded like such a fun story. This is a heavy arc though. Oh my goodness. It is like, it's 400 pages, but I mean, it doesn't look like it would be 400 pages, but it's also just dense. I don't know why. But I think that's going to be a lot of fun. These next 6 are books that came in the Owlcrate Junior boxes. So we have The Unmapped Chronicles, Casper Talk, and the Ever Dark Wings by Abby Elphinstone. This says, I think we need to look in here. Casper Talk hates risk and is allergic to adventures. So it comes as a nasty shock to him one day when he hides from bullies in an ancient grandfather clock and ends up finding an entire world inside. Casper discovers that this sky kingdom of Rumpelstar is one of the 4 unmapped kingdoms in charge of controlling the weather in Casper's own world. What's more, Casper is now stuck in Rumpelstar, and the only person there who doesn't think he's a demon spy is a strange girl named Utterly, who hates rules and is allergic to behaving. All Casper wants is to find his way home, but Rumpelstar is in trouble. An evil harpy called Morg is trying to steal the magic of the unmapped kingdoms. And if the kingdoms fall, Casper's world will be destroyed as well. And so, with Utterly and her miniature dragon Arlo, Casper embarks upon a quest full of cloud giants, storm ogres, and drizzle hags. Can he, Utterly, and Arlo, the unlikeliest heroes, save both their worlds from the clutches of Morg? This sounds like a lot of fun. Next we have The Starspun Web by Cindy O'Hart. And this says, with her passion for scientific experimentation and her pet tarantula, Violet, Tess D'Souza is no ordinary orphan. When a stranger shows up at Ackerby's home for lost and foundlings, claiming to be a distant relative come to adopt her, Tess hopes to find some answers to her mysterious past. But as she adjusts to her new life at Rodeer Lodge, it becomes clear that Norton F. Cleet knows more about Tess and the strange device left with her when she was abandoned as a baby than he's letting on. And when Tess discovers that the Star Spinner is a gateway between her world and a parallel world in which war rages, she realizes she may be at the center of a nefarious plan, a plan she must stop at all costs. This one also sounds like a lot of fun. Okay, next up we have Voyage of the Frost Heart by Jamie Littler. And I really like this cover. It's there's no jacket. It's made on like this. Also in the front it says, a misfit crew, a heroic quest, a hidden power that could save them all. And there is art like throughout the book. Ooh, stuff falling out, hold on. I don't really watch anime, but this, even just the cover of this gives me strong like anime vibes. Anyway, this says, way out in the farthest, most frozen part of the world, destiny is calling on Ash. Ever since his parents disappeared in the snowy expanse beyond their town, Ash has known he doesn't belong among the Fira. He's, well, different. But when a hidden magic bursts out of him and changes his life forever, his quest for his parents becomes a lot more urgent. Enter the Frostheart, a snow-worthy sleigh captained by a peg-legged walrus and a ragtag group of misfits. On board, he meets a spunky navigator who can talk his ear off as fast as she can plot a sleigh's course, daring explorers who aren't afraid of the monsters that lurk under the ice, and a mysterious traveler who holds the secrets to his powerful magic. Joining the Frostheart might be Ash's only chance to find his parents and find out who he truly is. And it's like a Viking kind of book. I think it'll be fun. Next up we have City Spies by James Ponti. And this says, Sarah Martinez is a hacker. She recently broke into the New York City juvenile justice system to expose her foster parents as cheats and lawbreakers. However, instead of being hailed as a hero, she finds herself facing years in a juvenile detention facility and banned from using computers. Enter Mother, a British spy who not only gets Sarah released from jail, but also offers her a chance to make a home for herself within a secret team of young MI6 agents. Operating out of a centuries-old manor house on the coast of Scotland, the City Spies are 5 kids from around the world. When they are not attending an elite boarding school, they're training for their roles as the biggest secret in the British Secret Intelligence Service. Before she knows what she's doing, Sarah is heading to Paris for an international youth summit, hacking into a rival's school computer to prevent them from winning €1 million, dangling 30 feet off the side of a building, and trying to stop a notorious villain, all while navigating the complex dynamics of her new team. No one said saving the world was easy. Another one that sounds like a lot of fun. Also, I really love like the whole boarding school dynamic, like the elite boarding school that also is something else. This very much gives me like middle grade version of Scammed by Kristen Simmons. Next up we have The Midnight Hour by Benjamin Reed and Laura Trinder. And this one says, another world lives within the stroke of midnight. When strange late-night letters start arriving at home, Emily's parents set off to investigate. But when her parents disappear completely, Emily is left alone to face the weird strangers who begin to appear at her door. Taking all the clues at her disposal, she'll set off to discover the secret world of the Midnight Hour, a Victorian London frozen in time, full of magic and monsters. Kept safe by an age-old agreement, the night folk of the midnight hour have been exiled to a parallel world that can only be accessed by a select few. But when the division of the two worlds is threatened, Emily must battle the clock and search for her parents while navigating this dark and unknown version of London. Armed with only a packed lunch, her very sleepy hedgehog, and her infamously argumentative mouth, Emily must escape bloodthirsty creatures of the night, figure out her own family secrets, and just maybe save the world. These are going to be so much fun to read. And then last but not least, we have Echo Mountain by Lauren Walk. And this one says, when the Great Depression takes almost everything they own, Ellie's family is forced to leave their home in town and start over in the untamed forests of nearby Echo Mountain. Ellie has found a welcome freedom and a love for the natural world in her new life on the mountain. But there is little joy, even for Ellie, as her family struggles with the aftermath of the accident that has left her father in a coma. An accident unfairly blamed on Ellie. Determined to help her father, Ellie will make her way to the top of the mountain in search of the healing secrets of a woman known only as the Hag. But the Hag and the mountain still have many untold stories left to reveal, and with them a fresh chance at happiness. Echo Mountain is a celebration of finding your own path and becoming your truest self. Newbery Honor-winning author Lauren Walk weaves a stunning tale of resilience, persistence, and friendship across 3 generations of families, set against the rough and ragged beauty of the mountain they all call home. Okay, now on to the YA books here. So the first 2 books that I have are ARCs that got sent to me from Unplugged Book Box. So this first one is the YA ARC, and that is Now That Ive Found You by Christina Forrest, and this one comes out June 2020. This says, following in the footsteps of her uber-famous grandma, 18-year-old Evie Jones is poised to be Hollywood's next big star. That is, until a close friend's betrayal leads to her being blacklisted. Fortunately, Evie knows just the thing to save her floundering career. A public appearance with America's most beloved actress, her grandma Gigi, aka Evelyn Conaway. The only problem, Gigi is a recluse who's been out of the limelight for almost 20 years. Days before Evie plans to present her grandma with an honorary award in front of Hollywood's elite, Gigi does the unthinkable. She disappears. With time running out and her comeback on the line, Evie reluctantly enlists the help of the last person to see Gigi before she vanished, Milo Williams. A cute musician Evie isn't sure she can trust. As Evie and Milo conduct a wild manhunt across New York City, romance and adventure abound while Evie makes some surprising discoveries about her grandma and herself. Next was the adult ARC that they sent, and that is The Patron Saint of Pregnant Girls by Ursula Heggie. And this one also comes out in June 2020. And this says, a novel about 3 mothers set on the shores of the North Sea, perfect for fans of Water for Elephants and The Light Between Oceans. In the summer of 1878, the Ludwig Circus has come to the island Nordstrand in Germany. Big-bellied girls rush from St. Margaret's Home for Pregnant Girls, thrilled to see the parade and the show, followed by the sisters who care for them. The old women and men competing to be crowned as the island's oldest person watch, thinking they have seen it all. But after the show, a 100-year wave roars from the North Sea and claims 3 young children. 3 mothers are on the beach when it happens. Lottie, whose children are lost, Sabine, a circus seamstress with her grown daughter, and Tilly, still just a child herself, who will give birth later that day at St. Margaret's. Lottie and her husband, the toy maker, experience their heartbreak in different ways. He escapes to the circus while she is no longer able to nurse their surviving son. Tilly steps in, bonding with their baby in a way she isn't allowed to with her own child, taken away from her at birth. Sabine, struggling to keep their childlike daughter safe in the world, forms a complicated friendship with Lottie. But the mother's fragile trio is threatened when Lottie and her husband hatch a mysterious plan to reunite with their lost children. Tilly and Sabine must try to find a way to pull them back to reality. As full of joy and beauty as it is of pain, and told with the luminous power that has made Ursula Heggie a beloved best-selling author for decades, the patron saint of pregnant girls is a shattering portrait of marriage, parenting, grief, and the ways in which women hold each other up in the most unexpected circumstances. And then these 5 were all Owlcrate books. So the first one we have is Scavenger the Stars by Tara Sim. And this one says, when Amaya rescues a mysterious stranger from drowning, she fears her rash actions have earned her a longer sentence on the debtor ship where she's been held captive for years. Instead, the man she saved offers her unimaginable riches, a new identity, and the promise of retribution against Kaman Mercado, the powerful merchant who ruined Amaya's family and stole the life she once had. K.O. Mercado, her heir to his father's empire, is well acquainted with the grit beneath the grandeur of Moray. In this opulent coastal city-state, where the corrupt slum king pockets gold from desperate gamblers and deadly ash fever spreads like rot, K.O. is desperate to shake his disreputable past. But when his sister falls ill, K.O. will do anything to save her life, even if it means making a deal with the slum king. As Amaya and K.O. become entangled in a dangerous game of deception, one of them set on protecting the Mercado family at any cost, and the other set on destroying it, they find themselves unexpectedly drawn to one another. But the more Amaya discovers about her past, the more she realizes she must trust no one. The first novel in a sweeping fantasy duology, this gender-swapped retelling of the Count of Monte Cristo is packed with high-stakes adventure, romance, dueling identities, and breathtaking betrayals, all brilliantly woven together by acclaimed author Tara Sim. Okay, next we have The Guinevere Deception by Kirsten White. And this is a book that I already own. It was one that Marty gave me as part of my Christmas Advent thing that he did this past year. But I actually like the original cover with the purple and the gold better than I like the green and silver cover. However, this one is a signed copy, and yeah, so I'm probably just going to end up switching the covers out. But I really, really, really love this book. It's an like Camelot and Arthur retelling, but the focus isn't really on Arthur, it's on Guinevere. And she is, well, she's not actually Guinevere. And she has been groomed to take Guinevere's place and was trained by Merlin and is there in Camelot as Arthur's new bride-to-be. But she's there really to protect Arthur and protect the magic of Camelot. It was really good. I think I gave it 5 stars. I definitely recommend it. I'm probably going to pass the other copy on to Xander, and I'm just going to swap out the covers. Because I think he'll enjoy it as well. Okay, next up, this next one is also another one that was part of my Advent thing that Marty did for me. However, I really like this edition. Let me see if I can find the other one. It's up here. Hold on. So I really like this edition over the original one that Marty got me. But yeah, as you can already see, it's got these beautiful sprayed edges, and I love that. So that is Winterwood by Shay Earnshaw. And here you can see the difference in the covers. I really like this cover, plus I love the sprayed edges. So I'm probably going to end up unhauling this one and keeping this one. But this says, be careful of the dark, dark wood, especially the woods surrounding the town of Fir Haven. Some say these woods are magical, cursed even. Rumored to be a witch, only Nora Walker knows the truth. She and the Walker women before her have always shared a special connection with the woods. And it's this special connection that leads Nora to Oliver Huntsman, the same boy who disappeared from the camp for wayward boys weeks ago, and in the middle of the worst snowstorm in years. He should be dead, but here he is alive and left in the woods with no memory of the time he'd been missing. But Nora can feel an uneasy shift in the woods at Oliver's presence, and it's not too long after that Nora realizes she has no choice but to unearth the truth behind how the boy she has come to care so deeply about survived his time in the forest and what led him there in the first place. What Nora doesn't know, though, is that Oliver has secrets of his own, secrets he'll do anything to keep buried, because as it turns out, he wasn't the only one who went missing on that fateful night all those weeks ago. For as long as there have been fairy tales, we have been warned to fear what lies within the dark, dark woods. And in Winterwood, New York Times bestselling author Shay Earnshaw shows us why. That's my letter from the author. Also, I thought I'd show the difference without the jacket. I love that edition. Okay, next up we have All the Stars and Teeth by Adeline Grace. And I love this cover. I think it is so pretty. This says, she will reign. As princess of the island kingdom, the Sita, Amora Montera has spent her entire life training to be the High Animancer, the master of souls. The rest of the realm can choose their magic, but for Amora, it's never been a choice. To secure her place as heir to the throne, she must prove her mastery of the monarchy's dangerous soul magic. When her demonstration goes awry, Amora is forced to flee. She strikes a deal with Bastian, a mysterious pirate. He'll help her prove she's fit to rule if she'll help him reclaim his stolen magic. But sailing the kingdom holds more wonder and more peril than Amora anticipated. A destructive new magic is on the rise, and if Amora is to conquer it, she'll need to face legendary monsters, cross paths with vengeful mermaids, and deal with a stowaway she never expected, or risk the fate of Isata and lose the crown forever. I am the right choice, the only choice, and I will protect my kingdom. And then the last book we have here, I don't know if you can actually see it in the camera, but it also has some beautiful sprayed edges. It has silver foiled edges. Also, absolutely love that. And that is The Kingdom of Back by Marie Lu. And I do remember reading the author's letter that this follows I think Mozart. Yes, Mozart and his sister, but the story is really about the sister that nobody really knows much about. This says, born with a gift for music, Nannerl Mozart has just one wish, to be remembered forever. But even as she delights audiences with her masterful playing, she has little hope she'll ever become the acclaimed composer she longs to be. She is a young woman in 18th century Europe, and that means composing is forbidden to her. She will perform only until she reaches a marriageable age. Her tyrannical father has made that much clear. As Nannerl's hope grows dimmer with each passing year, the talents of her beloved younger brother Wolfgang only seem to shine brighter. His brilliance begins to eclipse her own, until one day a mysterious stranger from a magical land appears with an irresistible offer. He has the power to make her wish come true, but his help may cost her everything. In her first work of historical fiction, #1 New York Times bestselling author Marie Lu spins a lush, lyrical told story of music, magic, and the unbreakable bond between a brother and sister. And I remember from the letter saying that she read history about Wolfgang and his sister, and that on these long carriage rides from place to place, to amuse themselves, because they didn't really get to play with other kids and stuff, they created this world called the Kingdom of Bag. And it was just this fairy tale world, and Marie Lu thought it would be cool if she brought that world to life in her book, and I thought that was just amazing. So I'm looking forward to reading all of these books. Have you read any of them? Did you like them? Did you not? Comment down below and let me know. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, click that subscribe button down below. And until next time, remember to always be completely you. Bye!